from West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Support for the following is provided by the West Virginia Department of Education and West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Hey everyone, it's Education Station, the show where we invite teachers from all across West Virginia to submit videos of themselves teaching their favorite lessons. In today's episode, we've got 3 exciting lessons about business, science, and automotive safety. Well, hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Alex Milanese, and if you've ever thought about one day owning your own business, well, you're definitely going to enjoy our first lesson. Miss Howell is going to help us understand how to create a business plan. Let's check it out.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'm Miss Howell, and today we are going to write a business plan. Do you ever dream of owning your own business? Yes, everyone does, because small businesses are the heart of every community. Do you have a good business idea? Let's see. It could be walking dogs, like a dog walker, or a photographer taking pictures, or an event planner planning birthday parties or celebrations for good grades. So you have a business idea, so grab some paper and some pencil, and we're going to write a business plan. A business plan tells a story about your business. And so let's begin the story. Today we begin with a mission statement, or the reason for your business. Let's see, I'm having a little bit of trouble, so I researched some mission statements or ideas from different businesses that you probably encounter on a daily basis. I'm going to read the business's mission statement, and you guess where it's from. All right, so our first one is to provide fresh, healthy, nutritious food at reasonable prices. So what business would that be? Grocery store or restaurant. Correct. See how fun? Number 2, to develop quality, safe products that bring joy to the life of kids and kids at heart. What brings you joy? Your toys. Yes, this is a toy company. Number 3, to bring inspiration or innovation to every athlete. What makes athletes want to run faster or jump higher? And that's athletic shoes. Very good. So we've got some ideas of a mission statement. And so let's start our story about our business. What is the reason for our business? So, as an example, I chose the business of a dog walker. Okay, so this is my dog Lady. Yeah, and I named my business Happy Paws because she's a happy dog. And then in the evening when I go home, I like to walk Lady. And sometimes my neighbors will ask me to walk their dog too. Wait a minute, could that be a business? Yes, it could. I could walk dogs for money. So I started making the business plan, my story, and it's Happy Paws, and this is Lady, and I wanted to make a mission statement. So let's make one together real quick for my business. All right, so the mission statement, let's see, and it's my purpose for my business. I love dogs, and I want to make sure they're happy. What about something like this? We provide positive, fun experiences that make pets happy and treat them with love and respect. That's what I love dogs, and I want to respect them. So if you were new to my neighborhood and you read this mission statement, would you want me to walk your dog or let me walk your dog? Yes, you know that I care as much about your dog as you do. So on your paper, think about your business and write a purpose or a mission statement for your business. All right, now we know what the purpose of our business is. Now we want to look into the future. What would our business like in the future? So close your eyes and let's think of Happy Paws. What do you see Happy Paws being like in the future? I envision the business so busy, there's dogs everywhere. Can Miss Howell walk all those dogs? No, she would love to, but no, she cannot. So she needs her friends to help, and these friends can be employees. And I want the employees to feel about my business the way I do. So I write a vision statement. All right. So a vision statement describes what goals the business has and what we'll focus on in the future, and it energizes employees to think the way I do about my business. And I love dogs, and I want them to think and take care of the dogs. So what can my vision statement be? Let's see. How about every employee will provide the highest level of pet care and ensure a happy experience for customers and their pet. So when I have employees, they know that that's what the business would expect of them. I like it. So now in our business plan or our story, we have a mission statement, a purpose for the business. Then we have a vision statement, what we see in the future for our business. Now, what do? We're still writing a story. Do I take care of the dogs for free? I'd love to, but I can't. No, we have to set some prices. And how do I know? Because I look around in my community of other businesses that offer the same services, and I look and set my prices competitively. So I researched competition in my area, and based on their prices, I did my prices the same as they did. All right, so I have to make a brochure that lets customers know what I charge. Now, for my business, it's important to ask certain questions so dogs are safe. All right, so on my brochure, there's my mission vision statement. We'll skip ahead a little bit. So on my brochure, I said, what size is your dog? So I can take care of them properly or feed them properly, make sure they have enough water. So customers would answer that question. Is the dog a puppy, younger than a year? And also, does your dog get along with other dogs? Because you want every dog to be safe. All right, and then after that, on my brochure, this is like a handout I hand to customers. It gives the service and prices of what I provide. We have doggy daycare, where they drop their dog off and we take care of them for $30 a day. We have dog walking, which is $15 an hour. We board the dogs, which means the dogs stay overnight with us for $40 a day. And house sitting is where you go to the house and sit for $50 a day. So we have a brochure. We let customers know how much we charge. So in our business plan or our story that we're telling, we had a mission statement, and you should have the same stuff on your paper, a mission statement or a purpose for your business, a vision statement, remember where you see your business going in the future, and then you should have a brochure. So go ahead on your paper and draw out a brochure and put the prices for things so customers will know. All right, now Happy Paws is open and we're ready for business. Wait a minute, there's no customers. What should we do now? Well, if we're ready to take care of pets and no one has brought their pet to me, I should do some advertising. Correct. So how do we advertise our business? How do we inform customers that we are ready to take care of their animals? Well, let's see. Everybody kind of thinks TV commercials first. Yeah, and then you see it there. TV commercials. TV commercials are very expensive. And I'm a new business. I'm just getting started, so money's kind of tight. So I want to kind of think outside of the box. All right, what about Happy Paws t-shirts? Yeah, t-shirts would be a good idea. So on your paper, draw a t-shirt and let's design one for us. I've already designed one. I know it's a little small. There's Lady. And Happy Paws, my logo, is on the t-shirt. And that would be, and it'll stay within your community, and people in your community will start talking about your business. All right, we also have Little Leagues in our area, which is local sports, and we can sponsor a couple of those, and that way we can give back to our community. And then we have radio stations that also talk about local businesses and what they provide. And that's what I want to do. I want to keep it local and promote my business within a community. All right, don't forget to have all these things on your paper. So let's do a recap. On your story that you're telling about your business, you have a business name, then you have your mission statement, then you have a vision statement, and then you have your prices, how much you're going to charge, and then you do some advertising, and then draw out a t-shirt that you would like to have for your business. All right. Me and Lady say, dream big.
Thanks, Miss Howell. All right, it's been said that one of the smartest people to ever live was a famous scientist named Isaac Newton. He made all kinds of important observations that help us understand the world around us. So next up, Mr. Adkins is going to explore one of Isaac Newton's most exciting discoveries. Let's check it out.
The topic for today is going to be Newton's second law, an introduction. We're going to take a look at some ideas. The first thing we need to state is the formal definition. The second law states that the acceleration on an object is dependent upon the net force acting upon the object and the mass of the object. So we're going to develop a little experiment today to try to analyze those two objects. Our design is going to be as follows. We're going to have a small little cart, and on this little cart we're going to have a few items to help us out. One of the things is these wheels here are going to be primarily what we consider to be as low friction as possible. Also, on the top of the cart we're going to have the ability to put a couple of different masses in it, so we'll be able to change the mass of the overall cart. The next feature of the cart that we're going to use is going to be the fact that it has a plunger in the front. Now this is just a rudimentary design because we're going to create a couple of experiments here, and we're going to conduct these, and we're going to see how these are going to go. Now the plunger up here is going to control the amount of force that we're going to use. Okay, our first experiment, we're going to change the mass of the cart and use the force that is fixed and see what happens. Okay, so let's get ready to make that happen. Alright, so we're going to press a button here, and that's going to make our plunger go out. So we're going to watch the acceleration. We're going to watch the rate at which this car takes off. So our first trial, whoops. Now, we're going to double the mass. To double the mass, we add one of these, place it in the center. Now let's see how it takes off this time. A little bit different. So let's add another one. So that's equivalent to the mass of 3 carts. So we're going to go again. Substantially lower. Go one more time. Add another one. That's the equivalent of the mass of 4 carts, and the last one, and off we go. Definitely slower. Okay. So far we've looked at one example. We've held something constant. We held the force constant, and we tried to take a look and see how it affected the acceleration of the object. So let's talk a little bit about mathematics here. So the acceleration of an object is going to be equal to the force applied to the object divided by the mass of the object. Now, just as a quick reminder, some quick items that you should remember. In our case here, our acceleration, it's in a unit of meters per second squared. Some people will write it as meters per second per second. Our force is measured in newtons. Our mass is going to be measured in kilograms. So when we were looking at that cart and we were talking about it, it had a mass of 250 grams, which is 0.25 kilograms. So we added a mass to it and made it 0.5, 0.75, and then 1.0 kilograms. So we're going to take a look at what all happens to this, okay? So the first thing, acceleration, the first time through, we said we had an acceleration. Our force was fixed. Our mass the first time was fairly small, so our acceleration was fairly large. Okay? Now, the next time through, our acceleration got slightly smaller. Why? Well, our force that we had was the same size, but this time our mass did what? Got larger. The next time, our acceleration got slightly smaller, but we had held our force to be the same, But what happened to our mass this time? It got even larger. So what are we looking at in the relationship here? If you keep the force held constant, but you make the mass keep increasing, what effect does that have on the acceleration of the object? Well, as we go through this, the acceleration of the object goes down. And in math class, what you'll hear people say, this is called inversely proportional. That means as one side of the equation increases, or one number on the other side of the equation increases, the opposite occurs on the other. So, and another thing is this. So this would say this fraction was 1 over 1. So the answer is 1 whole. This time we added one more to the top, to the bottom. So that means 2 of the masses. So now it's 0.5, definitely getting smaller. Then we added another to it, so that made it 1 over 3, which meant we've got 0.33 repeating. So it is definitely getting smaller on the acceleration part. And we got to see that in the video. Alright, so let's take a look at that equation we had again. This time we had acceleration was very small the first time. Our force was very small, but we kept our mass the same size. So the next time through, let's see what happened again. So this time here, our acceleration got ever so slightly bigger. And this time our force increased in size, but once again we kept our mass consistent. Last time through, our acceleration got to be quite large. We went to our largest size of force, the largest setting we had, and we kept our mass the same. So let's take a look at what happened on this. So this one here is the top part of the fraction, okay? So as the force increased, the acceleration increased. As the force increased, acceleration increased. As the force increased, the acceleration increases. So this is called a directly proportional. So let's take a look at some numbers. So the mass was 1 and our force was 1, so our acceleration is 1. This time here, we doubled the force per se. So that means we had 2 on top and 1 on the bottom. So 2 divided by 1 is 2. Our acceleration definitely got larger. This time here, our force was the third setting. The mass was still the same. So we got our acceleration to be 3. So remember, don't forget our units. The meters per second, meters per second per second, meters per second per second. So that's what we're looking at as far as Newton's second law goes. It's just a couple of concepts and things for us to look at and deal with. And it's just an overall picture of the general relationship of how the mass and force can affect the overall acceleration of an object.
Thanks, Mr. Adkins. So in that example, we learned how Newton's second law helps us understand how cars accelerate. But when it comes to automotive safety, well, there's a lot to consider. So for our final segment, Mr. Ice is going to walk us through some important things to check before we drive our cars. Let's check it out.
We just want to go over a couple things that you should do as far as inspecting your car. There's 2 kinds of inspection. One you should do every time you get in your car, and then one that's required by the state. And you can see in your car window, there's a sticker. It tells you the year and the month that your car inspection expires. For this car, it expires in 2021 in February. Your inspection expires the last day of the month, so this one will be February 28th. And don't get that confused with your license plate, which expires the first day of the month. Yes! So some things to do for your daily inspection as you're walking around your car is check your tires. Are they straight? Are they turned? Do they have enough air in them? And also you want to check the tread. On the state inspection, the tread is what they're going to check to make sure you have enough tread. So when they inspect your tires, one of the things they're going to look for is tread wear. This car has pretty good tread. The required tread in West Virginia is 1/16 of an inch, which is not very much. One of the little tricks you can use at home to see if you have enough tread is just simply a penny. So if you put a penny down in your tread and any part of Abraham Lincoln's head's covered up, then you have more than 1/16 of an inch. Another tread wear guide, and it's put on all cars, are these tread wear bars, and you can see it goes all the way across the tire. If this tread here is down to where these bars are here, then you have less than 1/16 of an inch. It's time to get new tires. As you continue walking around your car, you want to look for simple things like make sure all the doors are closed, check your back tire tread, just simple little things. What could be simple little things which could be something major? Are there any obstructions? Is there anything close to your car that as you're backing out or pulling forward, like a curb or another car at a parking lot? Is your trunk open or completely closed? You don't want that flying open as you're going down the highway. Check under the vehicle too to see if there's anything that's caught, a stick, a twig, that could cause some damage, so you want to get rid of that. One of the things they're going to check in the state inspection is your exhaust to make sure there's no leaks. There's nothing making a lot of noise, because if there's leaks, that means you could get carbon monoxide getting into your chamber and... A simple way to check your exhaust is while the car is running, and don't do this with your bare hand, but for this example, we're not going to have the car running. Get a towel or something like that kind of thick, and put your hand over there and block it from coming out. If your exhaust has no leaks in it, it will take just a few seconds that the motor will start to bog down, because that air is building up pressure and backing up into the motor. That's a good sign you don't have any leaks. As you check your tires, you want to check both sides, front tires and back tires. You're also looking to see if there's anything under the car, and you're also looking for fluids. If you see any fluids coming out from under your car, and it's sometimes you won't see it till you back up, you want to check and make sure what that is. Some points to check about fluid when you see them. Touch them. Do they feel oily, greasy? Then it's motor oil or possibly transmission fluid or brake fluid. You want to get those things taken care of really quick. Is it pinkish or greenish? It's possibly radiator fluid. Again, you want to make sure your car has plenty of that. If you let fluids get low, then you might have expensive repairs coming in the future. A rule of thumb is you should check your oil about once a month, but an easy thing to do is to check it whenever you get gasoline. It's a real simple step. Check and make sure your hood's latched well, because you don't want that flying up while you're driving down the road. Then you're blinded and can't see. Another point of inspection are your brakes. They're going to look at your brake pads to make sure they're good. There's also a few signs that you can find about your brakes, whether they're good or not, while you're driving. If you hit your brakes while you're driving and your car pulls to one side or another, that means one brake's working a little bit better than the other. Manufacturers also put a little metal strip in the brake pads, and when it's worn down to where that metal strip is touching your discs, you'll have a high-pitched squeal. That's your warning to tell you you need to get your brakes changed quickly. Another item for inspection are your headlights. They're going to make sure that both of your headlights work. Also your high beams, they're going to turn those on and make sure they're working. They're also going to check your turn signals. It's actually required by law too that you can see your car from the side. The front light will be amber, so you can see how this comes around the side. In the rear, it will be red. They're going to check your rear lights to make sure they're working, to make sure your blinkers are working too, and also your brake lights. All cars are equipped with a license plate light, which is required by law. And another thing that they will inspect and look for when they do the inspection. You should also check your windows and windshield when you do your daily walk around in your car to make sure they don't have any chips or cracks in it. You should also always have a good set of windshield wipers so that when it's raining or snowing or any bad weather condition you have them on, they're going to completely remove all of the rain and water and debris. If when you use your windshield wipers you get streaks, then it's time to replace them. Another item that will check at inspection is your windshield. If you have any crack that's inside the area where the windshield wipers go, then your car will not pass inspection. If you see this sign, you know that's a place that does vehicle inspections in West Virginia. A typical inspection will cost you about $15.
Thanks, Mr. Ice. All right, well, that wraps up everything for us here today on Education Station. We want to thank everyone who shared their awesome lessons, and we want to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Education Station.